start off with an apology. I seem to have a glare on my glasses and I can't get rid of it. I've tried all sorts, so you're going to have to bear with me, I'm afraid. Um, okay, in my career, I have faced my fair share of resistant stakeholders, as I'm sure you have too. I'm talking about senior leaders who don't have time for our carefully crafted messages, or those middle managers who just nod along but never actually cascade information. And then we have our subject matter experts who insist nobody needs to know yet. So, today I want to share with you three approaches that have consistently helped me to transform these challenging stakeholders into valuable communication allies. Firstly, find out what's really going on. I learnt this lesson the hard way early in my career. I was working on an IT transformation program, and one particular director seemed to block every communication I proposed. After weeks of frustration on both sides, I finally invited her for a coffee and listened. It turns out she'd been burnt by an earlier failed IT change at her previous company, where communications had created expectations that just weren't delivered. Her resistance wasn't stubbornness, it was just experience. Don't assume resistance is about your communication approach. It's usually about something deeper. So, previous experiences or competing priorities or even concerns about the change itself. What works? Well, schedule a one-to-one coffee. Virtual is fine, but real is better, with resistant stakeholders and ask open questions like, what's your experience been with similar changes? And what concerns you most about how teams might react to this message? Then just listen. They will talk. The second point is give people a role in creating communications. Now, I know that goes against kind of what we do, but anyway, people support what they can help create. This might very well be the golden rule of change communications. When stakeholders actively contribute to the communication approach, they actually become invested in its success. I remember working with one particularly vocal critic during a major restructuring. Instead of trying to win him over, I invited him to help co-lead and create the communication approach for knowledge transfer. He actually turned into one of our strongest advocates, and he used his experience to strengthen our messages rather than tear them down. So, what works? Find specific aspects of your communication plan where resistant stakeholders have relevant expertise or concerns. Then invite them to contribute directly. Ask them to review key messages. Let them lead a communication workshop or even present at a town hall. The third point is connect communications to what they care about. Even when stakeholders disagree about communication methods, they often share common goals. I once worked with a group of clinicians, yes, in a National Health Service hospital, who really pushed back on the communication about a new patient management system. When we actually stopped talking about the system itself and started focusing on how effective communication would actually give them more time with patients, they then saw the benefits. So, what worked? Take time to understand what truly motivates your resistant stakeholders. Then frame your communication goals in terms of those motivations. For executives, it might be business results. For managers, team effective. For specialists, it could be quality and standards.